Hey guys, welcome back to the channel, and today we are here again with Yagiz. And why do I say again? He did such a great salesmanship job when I was visiting a few weeks ago, and we are standing in front of the incubators. And Yagiz, thanks again for taking time for me.
Thank you very much for coming by again.
Yeah, and the topic of today is I got approval from the big boss at home, and I'm gonna go home today with one of your incubators. So if you could be so kind to give me a little training. And I bribed Yagiz a little bit because today or nowadays with egg commodity prices being up so high, I bribed him a little bit with some quail eggs too to take the time for me. But if you could give me a little training on this specific incubator I'm taking home today, that would be very much appreciated.
Of course, welcome back again. First of all, it didn't take you too much to get an approval, so congratulations. And as I mentioned in the previous time when you visited us, we have three different CT models, 60, 120 and 180. So the one that you're taking home tonight is this one.
Right.
So 180 chicken egg capacity, 468 quail egg capacity.
Right.
As you see on your hand, you have a quail rail that holds 13 eggs. So you will have in the machine 6 trays. So basically for quail eggs, you will need 36 quail trays.
Mm-hmm.
Okay, so let's open and maybe set the eggs on the tray.
I see.
So you will basically place this yellow tray on the white tray.
Learning by doing. Let's see if I manage that too.
Here you go.
Even with my two left hands.
So basically, as I said, every layer controlled separately.
Mm-hmm.
So if let's say you're not using this layer, you can just disconnect it.
Mm-hmm.
I recommend keeping it inside because when we calibrate the machine for temperature and humidity, we always calibrate it with all the equipment inside.
Ah, okay.
So that's an important point. Inside the incubator, you have an important part, which is the sensor. That sensor basically identifies all the temperature and the humidity inside the incubator. Okay, you have exactly the same sensor. It's behind the control panel that identifies the room temperature and humidity. Okay, basically you set your temperature and humidity on the screen. It is preset to 99.8 for temperature and 50% at humidity.
Mm-hmm.
That's fine for the quail eggs. So you'll keep the quail eggs 14-15 days on the setter,
Mm-hmm.
and then last 2-3 days, around the day 14-15, you'll transfer them to hatching baskets.
Mm-hmm.
So when you transfer them to the hatching baskets, they will start basically popping out of eggs on the day 17, 18, 19.
Mm-hmm.
So we give them about 3 days, 4 days in the hatching baskets.
Yeah.
And when you want to, let's say, change any of the settings on the screen, let's say you want to bring down the temperature, you click the key button, hold it until 99.8 starts blinking. Let's say you bring it down to 98.8 or 98.9 for the hatching period.
Mm-hmm.
Right? So for hatching, you'll basically bring it down almost like a degree or so.
Mm-hmm.
And then you want to save it, you'll click T. If you want to change the humidity, you'll keep the H button until the humidity level is blinking.
All right.
And you'll put it up to 65, 70, which is generally the hatching.
Right. And so the H and the T doesn't stand for hatching time, it stands for humidity
And the
for temperature. Ah, now I get it. Okay.
You have the down arrow for the light. You turn it on. If you don't click it back, it will be on for 3 minutes and then it will turn off. But if you click once again, you basically turn it off. Okay. What else? If you wanna change any other parameters, you basically don't need to. But if you will have to, you click T and H together, and then you go into the parameters. You pretty much don't need to touch it,
Right.
but just in case you want to change anything and you want to self-control the incubator, this is how you do it.
Right.
Okay, but I don't believe you need to touch anything. That's for
Specific
more
use cases.
exactly, and professional hatchers that they have particular eggs that they are hatching.
All right. So yeah, that's a good thing that you can use the incubator for all kinds of things, but my purpose is only the quail.
Right. You can hatch pretty much all the egg types in the incubator. If you will start transferring your eggs to the hatching baskets, you'll basically take out the setting tray and replace them with the hatching baskets. Somewhere here, most probably we have hatching baskets, but let's focus on the setting trays. Right?
Yeah.
So when it comes to cleaning, after you're done with the hatching process,
Right.
you're going to take out all the trays. You have access to the whole cabinet.
Right.
The back door will help you to clean it easier. So you'll have access from front and the back door.
That's awesome. Now I'm a type of person who is, in regards to cleaning, sometimes a little bit aggressive, and the sensor up there. Is it recommended that I use a power washer and give it a good clean, or what is the best recommendation for cleaning?
So basically, you don't need to power wash the machine.
Right.
Like maybe people, they prefer power washing it, but after hatching, you don't need to. Just with a wet wipe, antibacterial wet wipe, let's say, just clean it, disinfecting wet wipe should do the job. Okay. What I recommend, deep cleaning the fan after each hatch cycle. Okay. Cleaning the fan, and you can use the sprays for the
Dust sprays?
Dust sprays, exactly. I think that will be very useful. Cleaning the dust on the fan.
I use sometimes an air compressor in my garage as well to clean my ventilation system for the quail. So a little blowout basically with the air compressor is a good
It's
thing
always
to
a
do.
good thing to do as well. Exactly.
So no power washer, air compressor. Okay.
The one recommendation, we have the sensor inside, but always have a separate thermometer or a hygrometer inside the unit, so that you know if your temperature and humidity on the screen matches with another thermometer or the hygrometer. So
Right.
basically, this will confirm what's the temperature and humidity inside, and if it is matches with the screen. Don't put it on the bottom level, like in this example, because at the bottom of the incubator is always a little colder coming from the ground. But if you place it somewhere in the mid trays, it should do the job.
Oh, I see. Okay. Great.
Yeah. When it comes to the humidity system, the humidity system is outside of the incubator. It's not inside. So you'll not end up cleaning the whole humidity system after you run a hatch.
Right.
Okay? But pretty much you don't need to do anything with the humidity system, and you'll keep using it.
Just
One
pump off the
recommendation-
water?
Yeah, one recommendation, use distilled water.
Distilled water.
So distilled water is going to help the humisonic disk to prolong its life. Sometimes clients have, I don't know, hard water in their system.
Mine is
So
really hard.
hard water will definitely shorten the life of the humidifier. That's an important thing to mention.
Great.
Yeah. What else? You ask me and I'll try to explain.
Environments, because I'm still thinking where I'm gonna put this bad boy. My wife was used now to these small little styrofoam incubators all over the dining room because it's cold outside in the garage. But I do have the grow-out tents as well. And I think you mentioned last time something about different alarm types as well.
Right.
But what would be a good environment so it's an optimal, like best performance it can be?
So the room temperature, like minimum room temperature about 65, 66, up to let's say 76, 78 would be the ideal temperature for the incubator room.
Right.
Okay. I wouldn't go in the room below 50, 55. Okay. Or I wouldn't go above in the room above 80 degrees, let's say.
I see.
Okay, that will impact the internal temperature and the humidity. For example, imagine you are in Florida
Right.
during summertime, where temperature goes up to 100,
Right.
and you put it, in a shed or in an outside space.
Right.
So the internal temperature will keep having problems to keeping the temperature at 99.8,
Yeah.
where outside is, let's say, 104, 105.
Right.
So that's what I'm talking about.
Okay, I think I have a room in the basement which is usually, it's not heated down there, but it's usually around 50 to, I would say more like 60 to 70 if I put the heating on, so
Should
60
be
to
fine.
70
Yeah.
average typical.
Sure.
Okay, great. So I know where this incubator will go. Great. The alarms, so if I have this setting, the setup to have it between 60 and 70 degrees on the outside temperature, that wouldn't trigger that.
No, it would not. It wouldn't.
Yeah.
And originally, from the factory settings,
Mhm.
the room alarms come off.
Mhm.
Unless you turn them on,
Oh, I see.
there will be no alarm sensors
Okay.
going off.
Mhm.
It comes with internal temperature and humidity alarms on.
Ah, that's great.
So let's say you set it for 99.8
Mhm.
and the temperature goes 4 degrees below,
Mhm.
then it will start beeping.
Nice.
Or it will go 1.5 degrees above,
Mhm.
it will start beeping.
Mhm.
So you can change those parameters, okay, -4 plus 1.5. You can change it to whatever set value you want.
Mhm.
However, this is our recommendation. Keep
Right.
it -4 plus 1.5. And if you'll start hearing a beep,
Right.
it means it's gonna be written on the screen. What's the alarm code?
Right.
Okay,
Mhm.
and all alarm codes are explained in the user manual.
Mhm.
So you'll basically go on alarm number 4, and you'll check on the user manual what's alarm number 4.
Mhm.
Let's say high temperature.
Ah.
So you'll understand inside the incubator temperature is above 1.5 degrees.
Oh, I see. Oh, that's very handy. Okay, that's good to know that the environment alarm is already switched off because I'm not gonna need that. That's great. I set up. The other one is the one I'm gonna listen for. Power outages is an issue for me. I do have a backup battery which is kind of an uninterrupted power supply where I'm probably gonna hook it up because especially if I load it up with egg capacity, right? I mean, so we put like 2 rails in there now with 26 eggs, and that's just a little bit. That's what I normally give out for people on rentahatch.com to do a little family project. But yeah, if I have it all loaded up, I have a lot of quail eggs in there. I think, how many was it again?
468.
468 quail eggs. Just to show maybe one. I popped it in early on, but it's a jumbo size. Some of them are new layers. Obviously, I won't blame you on the hatch rate on the new layers, but what is I would say like a normal hatch rate or a good hatch rate? I mean, you can have excellent, but what you would consider is a normal hatch rate if I have, of course, ensured that the quail eggs are fertile with the ratio of female and males.
There are a lot of factors that impact, the fertility or the hatch rate. Eggs need to be candled. If you're candling the egg, you see that it's not fertile, don't waste your time and just replace that egg with something else, with a fertile egg. So if it's not fertile egg, it's not going to hatch. Let's say 100% of the capacity is fertile. I would expect at least 95, 96, 98, like even 100% hatch rates. We have a lot of clients that are coming back and saying, I said 60 eggs and all hatched. I said 100 eggs and all hatched. So with those incubators, I can easily say you'll have a hatch rate between 90 to 100%.
That's awesome. And it's set and forget.
It is set and forget. Basically, for the first, let's talk about chicken eggs, 17, 18 days, you'll set the value and everything is going to be basically working by itself.
Right.
You just need to make sure that there's enough water in the water tank, and that's basically it. After the day 17, 18, you'll just transfer the eggs to hatching baskets, and you'll open the door to get the baby chicks out.
Awesome.
So
Awesome.
it's really, I would call it idiot-proof.
Right.
So
That's good for me.
it's really easy to use.
Right. For the quail eggs, you have the lockdown after 15 days, so that's when you unplug usually the turners, but that's also the time when you transfer them in the baskets. Right? Because that even I understand, if I would leave them in there, the chicks would have a problem here.
Exactly.
You don't come with parachutes, so it makes sense to switch them over then in that process. Okay, that's great advice. Yeah. 468. Wow, that's a lot. 63.
You'll have a lot of babies.
I'm gonna be busy, but I'm gonna probably do some staggered hatches as well, and it's possible too that I have the baskets down there, new eggs up here, so that's great to do.
You can also do weekly hatches.
Right.
You can, I don't know, use 2 trays right now, 2 trays after 7 days, and then 2 trays after 14 days.
Right.
So then the first 2 layers will hatch first, so you'll replace them with the hatching baskets, and you'll replace them with the hatching baskets. So you can basically do on weekly basis as well, weekly hatches too.
Right. I have to think about how I'm gonna do it the best way with capacity planning in regards to the brooder space I have to go out, space, the extra space on the outside as well. That's really good. Power consumption itself is pretty low.
The power consumption is basically, on average for this machine, is 70 watt a day. So 70 watt a day is roughly about 28 cents a day. Okay? So if it runs 24 hours, it will consume about 28 cents.
But right below a kilowatt, basically.
Correct.
Yeah.
And when you are running it for 21 days for chicken eggs, you are basically consuming roughly about $4, $5-ish.
Wow, that's
Okay.
a big difference compared to what I've previously done now.
Yeah.
With my styropor, I know that one of them, when it runs, when it heats a lot, takes about 40 watts an hour. So I have 5 of them running to have the same capacity that this incubator has. So that's absolutely, that's 200 watts an hour. That 24 hours, I've got them way over 1.5 kilowatts right now.
Yep.
And yeah, I mean, it makes sense. Energy consumption is really a good thing to think about, even though that's a small part of the whole process.
Let me tell you one thing, it's not a small part, because imagine we're saying you utilize, let's say, 200 watts, right? It's 3 times the machine.
Right.
And when you are doing it throughout the whole year for chicken eggs, let's say, throughout the year you can do each 21 days. That makes roughly about 16, 17 hatches a year, right? And each time, let's say, instead of spending $5, $6 on consumption, you're spending 3 times, 15, 16, 17. So you're basically losing $10.
Right.
Times 15, 16 hatches. That's roughly about $150, $160 a year.
Wow.
And then 5 years, let's say, 5 times 150, that's basically $750. That's how much the incubator cost.
Wow.
Right?
Yeah, that's it pays for itself in 5 years. That's absolutely amazing.
So return on investment, and that's just for consumption.
Oh, we should have talked about that when I was here last time. That would have made my negotiation with my wife so much easier.
So I helped you, I'm glad.
But I hope it helps a bit the viewers now to hear that information, because it just makes sense. Even buying a cheap incubator and buying multiple of them, thinking it saves you money, it doesn't in the long run. That's it.
And also hatch rate is another thing.
Right.
Let's say in the tabletop incubators, you have a hatch rate of what, 50%, 60%, 70%.
You're
if
lucky
you're lucky.
sometimes.
Exactly. So let's say an egg, nowadays egg prices, we all know it's very expensive. And let's say an egg for a chicken egg, let's say it's $2 sometimes, $3.
Right.
And let's say you set 100 eggs and you got only 60% hatch.
Right.
40 eggs is garbage. That's $50, $60 right there, depending on an egg price.
Right.
And imagine again, you're running 15 hatches a year. 15 times 50 every time. that's $750. It's a lot of money.
That's a good point, and that's the reason why I'm back here. Because with the little incubators, I don't have egg turners on all of them, and I don't have the time to take care of multiple incubators. It was just a pain, and that's why I'm back here, because I want to do this professionally and with the best equipment possible, and learning that, you know, it saves energy, it saves time. Time is money too. I'm really, really happy about that. I have to think, what question didn't I ask you? Good question.
Maybe I can talk a little bit also about the replacement parts.
Oh, that's
because
a good question.
It's very important that all the replacement parts and technical service is available too. So let's say your turners stop working and you need the engine for the turners. Basically, you just give customer service a call. They'll just ship you just the motor, the engine, and you can replace it. It's very easy. Most of our parts are modular. So basically, when you need a part, you just give us a call, and yeah, you'll have a replacement part within 48 hours at home.
Oh, super. Because I already see myself damaging one of them due to water damage. If I drop it somewhere or take it too serious with the cleaning, I see myself doing that. And actually, it tells here the motor alone here, it's actually a little more than 1 watt. That's like nothing.
Yeah, exactly.
And then of course there's the heating elements in there and all the other good stuff, but and it's stable. I mean, yeah, I try not to damage this stuff. So,
I hope you will not.
yeah, I will let you know. Okay, that looks good to me. Yeah, I guess I'm gonna be very busy this weekend setting eggs in here, and I will report back in regards to the hatch rates and let you know how it goes.
Of course,
Hatching Time is doing this now since many years, and I realized I should have been here years ago, but you know, always time to learn.
Never too late.
Never too late.
Yeah.
And I think I put it in wrong, of course. You see?
Okay.
Oh, it has an alarm when you leave it open.
Yeah, because the temperature is.
Yeah, of course. It's
under the
dropping.
set limits, yes.
It's like my refrigerator as well. That's good for me because I tend to leave doors open, so that's good to know. Yeah.
Yep.
Perfect. So I'm pretty happy that our quail eggs fit so nicely in your incubator, and we do have a little announcement to make in regards to that as well.
So Hatching Time will start shipping eggs that will be supplied by Christian. So we are happy to announce that for our clients, for Christian's clients. So yeah, hatching eggs will be available on hatchingtime.com.
Yes, we're here at the Undique network, all the farms behind Undique, not just me. We will be very busy, I think, in the coming weeks with supplying Hatching Time customers with hatching eggs. It's just a natural thing coming together, as we see here as well. So we look forward to work together on that. And I guess, you know, with great equipment and fresh eggs, fresh fertile eggs, I think everybody out there will have great success.
Great equipment means a great egg. So thank you very much for supplying us with your great product.
Thank you too.
Thank you.
Okay, Yagiz, I thank you so much for explaining everything, a little on-site training for me. I'm looking forward to bring this baby home today and hatch a lot of quail. We have plenty of supplies for our customers out there for hatching eggs, fresh eggs, and then of course also the dog treats.
And I wish you a good hatching season. And let me tell you one thing, you'll be coming back soon, very quick. So yeah, I need to get another incubator. I hope you'll be happy. And yeah, I wish everyone happy hatching season. We are right starting the season, so I wish everyone all the best.
Good day, guys. Bye.